A new research study details what cells are more susceptible to the coronavirus. Here's what you need to know. According to research published in the journals Nature and Cell, specialists from around the world have identified cells in the lungs, nasal passages, and intestine that are more susceptible to SARS-CoV-2. Findings of the research show that secretory cells, which produce mucus in the nasal passages, have the RNAs for both proteins that COVID-19 searches for to attack a cell. Results also suggest that the coronavirus could have mutated to exploit interferon, which are proteins released by cells to fight off viruses and infections. Researchers also found that cells in the intestine that are in charge of partial nutrient absorption, called enterocytes, also express the RNAs for the two proteins, which makes them vulnerable to the coronavirus. Scientists working on the study hope that these new findings will help specialists working on drug treatments for COVID-19. In a press release published in MIT News, Alex K. Shalik, the Pfizer-Laubach Career Development Associate Professor of Chemistry, said, "Our goal is to get information out to the community and to share data as soon as is humanly possible, so that we can help accelerate ongoing efforts in the scientific and medical communities." You might be thinking, enterocytes? RNAs? Interferon? Well, to understand this, you need to understand how the coronavirus takes over cells. This is how it works. The COVID-19 coronavirus, or SARS-CoV-2, spreads through droplets that people make when we talk, cough, or sneeze. The virus can be carried for up to 27 feet and land on the respiratory system, according to a study in the Journal of American Medical Association. A gene sequence study published in Frontiers in Medicine showed that the coronavirus targets human cells with ACE2 receptors. This means the epithelial cells in the lungs and other organs are vulnerable to the coronavirus. The coronavirus has mutations in the spike proteins on its surface. The mutations to the receptor binding domains, or RBDs, allow the virus to use human ACE2 receptors as entry points for getting into the cell. According to the British Society of Immunology, the virus hijacks the cell and commandeers the structures inside the cell to make more copies of itself. The infected cell's ribosomes are directed to create viral RNA and proteins. After that, the cell's Golgi apparatus puts the proteins and RNA together and coats them in protein, which creates new copies of the coronavirus. The biochemical distress of being hijacked by the virus eventually kills the cell, which causes damage to the infected tissue. At the same time, the body tries to fight off the infection by sending killer T cells. The killer cells search and destroy compromised cells. The immune system attack on the infected part of the body leads to more tissue damage and inflammation. Speaking to The Guardian, John Wilson, president-elect of the Royal Australasian College of Physicians and a respiratory physician, said the coronavirus infection spreads down the respiratory system and may reach the alveoli at the bottom of the lungs. This fills the lungs with liquids and inflammatory materials. Symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, breathing difficulties, and muscle pains. Citing doctors, the New York Times reports the virus may move in the blood to attack the heart, the kidneys, and the liver. Lung damage would also deprive patients of blood oxygen. George Washington University Hospital reports that 20% of COVID-19 patients are symptomatic. A portion of these develop severe symptoms and become unable to breathe without using ventilators or other medical devices. Also, here are the symptoms you should be watching out for. According to the study of patients in Wuhan, fever is typically the first symptom experienced by those infected with SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes coronavirus disease 2019. Some COVID-19 patients may also experience fatigue, muscle pain, and a dry cough. By day 5, this transitions into breathing difficulties, especially for the elderly or those with pre-existing health conditions. The study found it took patients an average of 7 days after running a fever before they were admitted to a hospital. By day 8, those with severe symptoms had developed acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS, which can be fatal. This is when fluid builds up in the lungs. Patients with worsening symptoms are typically admitted to the intensive care unit by day 10. These patients are probably experiencing more abdominal pain and loss of appetite than those with milder symptoms. For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.